Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in the universe. This is Captain Swifty, the Ineffectual Gamer, and this is day 4 of Microsoft Flight Simulator Circumnavigation of the Globe. But I'm not sure if circumnavigation was the correct word, if I can even get that word out. Hello, how are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Okay. Got a problem here. I was nicely setting up my my stream, and then I see. I don't even know if toolkit if my thingy is working properly now. Well, maybe it'll show up in game. I'll have to check up. I had a crash, and hey Brian, how are you doing? Welcome in. I had a crash, and not a crash in the plane crash. I had a crash of the game. And now I'm trying to add a custom waypoint, and it won't add it. The reason I'm guessing it won't add it is because I'm doing high altitude airways, and it's saying something along the lines of, no, don't want to do that. So what we're just going to try and do here is I'm going to try and add this custom waypoint by doing it GPS to GPS. So let's see if we can get this waypoint to come up again. Of course, it won't under those conditions. So there we go. Okay, so now we've got the custom waypoint. Let's add that in. Yep. Okay, so now it's done it. So this flight is going to be a strange one because I am going to fly GPS all the way. Now this will actually allow me to set things up a little bit better when I'm coming into land and stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, so this crash to desktop was a real pain in the backside, and it lets me see the custom waypoint as well. Hey Nampara, how are you doing? Mick Mac Mock. No, but I think I remember you as Nampara Brewery as well. Nice to see you in. It's been a long time. I think you were on Discord as Mick Mac Mock. No, I don't know if you came in the stream very often as Mick Mac Mock. Okay. So yeah, so we're going to change some of the flight conditions. We're going to change the flight conditions to let's have a look. Custom live weather. Give me a daytime stream. Okay, so we'll go back to the day. Yeah? Okay, so we'll get my livery. I like this livery. Green one, because green's my favourite colour. Hence Ineffectual Gamer and green and everything now, because that's what it is. 97. 97 and Ineffectual Gamer. Okay, so that's that. Let's go back to the world map again. So if you remember, we finished the last flight. Thanks for joining in, everybody, in the last flight, by the way. I was a bit tired when we got to the end of it. We ended the journey in Hassan-i... but I can't remember what the second word was. And hang on a minute, because I actually want to shut down my thingy now that I don't need it. Because everything's running, isn't it? I'll just check if I've got the stream up on Twitch. That's the big one, because I often forget to do the Twitch one. So, not holding your mouth right. Yeah, he's not holding his mouth right. Okay, yeah, that's running up on there. I'm supposing it's up and running on YouTube if you're all watching, but you never know. You might just be talking to a blank screen. And who would notice the difference? Ha 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 ha. Right, okay, let's get this underway. So let me hide my preview here, because that apparently eats up some of the stuff on my computer. So we can get going. We are... Actually, no, we won't get going. We've got a runway for start, but I want to start at a ramp. Okay, so we'll start at that ramp. Okay, that's good. But still a runway for takeoff, no? I think. Yeah, still a runway for takeoff. So let's click fly, and fingers crossed we don't have a crash. So we got Brian in, we've got Elazgar, and we've got Nampara. So good. And anybody else? Anybody else who wants to drop by and say hello and have a beer? Now we are going to be we're going to be flying from West Africa, the country, not the region, and we're going to be flying down into Mauritania. And when we get into Mauritania, it's going to be interesting. Alright, Nampara, yeah, if you ever wanna fly, make sure to add me in game as well, Swifty78, and I've said people are more than welcome in some streams to come. Got you, twat. People are more than welcome to come and join me while I'm flying. Okay, so yeah, we're in West Africa and we're gonna go down into Mauritania. Oh, look at this desert, nice. So we're in Hassan E. I don't remember the second part of the name, so. But there's our nice. Well, yeah, it's not a British size. It's one of those American, European sizes. You know, the non-alcoholic size. Okay. So now I'm gonna go ready to fly, and my thing's gonna kick in straight away. Listen. I'll go. Or is it only if actually if I turn the I've turned manage radio comms off anyway. Aren't I a good fellow? Okay, so let's scooch across. This setup's getting much easier these days. Now that I've done it so many times, it's second nature now. Which is good. In fact, I should just sit actually in the centre of the plane rather than scooching all the way across, just sit in the centre. Not for the whole flight. Okay, so we can request clearance, but we are doing a GPS to GPS, so not the AI. We are doing GPS to GPS, so I don't know exactly how we're going to do this. So we don't want an instrument flight plan. We're going to do it GPR. So we're going to depart to the west. So we only do that after taxi, and I didn't know that. That's the first time I'd seen that. So let's just check around the back, make sure we're clear behind us. No, we're not. So we are going to actually ask for possibly the smallest pushback in history, or we're going to twat him with the wing. I think we're going to twat him with a wing. Okay, so let's have a look. We will go on. Okay, pulse strobe, ignition on, auto BP on. No, it's on auto, isn't it? It's on auto. Okay, start the engine up. Auto fuel. Okay, engine's on the go. So I'm here, I'll put on the pitot heat and the intercept. Bleed to auto. Okay, and we'll just let it spin up a little bit. We'll put that throttle right down. I didn't realise. I always check my throttle quadrant. I never checked it today. So luckily. So let's have a look here. Trying to force unpaid leave. Yeah, I was talking about this to somebody the other day. These big companies all suddenly want to be socialists, Elazgar. The companies want to be socialist. They want the government to look after us so that they don't have to pay us. Right, intercept off. Oop, take that away. Intercept off. You took a payment from the government, Elazgar. I've just remembered that. Soviet Russia. Right, okay, so the parking brake's on, but other than that, we are clear and we are ready to go. So, we are going to request a taxi to depart to the west. No, to the east. Damn it.
With whiskey, request taxi for takeoff west departure.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 taxi to and hold short of runway 4 using taxiway Alpha.
Contact tower on 13.1 when ready. Taxiing hold short runway 4 via taxiway Alpha Ineffectual Gamer 907.
I love that he says my name, that's class. Okay, so, well, we muffed up the exit, because we're actually going to the east, not the west, but it doesn't really matter, because we're doing GPS to GPS, so what would they know? They'll only be tracking us from a distance. Right, so we're going to go up to 5,000 feet at the beginning, and then as we get to our waypoint, we're going to come down. So I'm going to go up at 1,100, and we'll put the nav on, virtual speed. Okay, that's that set. Then we go FMC here. We need to set this to FMS. I always say FMC. We shall have a little bit of heat because we're in Africa, so we're going to turn on the air conditioning a little bit. Let's give it a little bit to the passengers as well, just to make sure. Okay, and apart from that, we will go PDF set. It's wind option 3. Navcom. No, I always press the wrong button there. Navcom. No. Okay, so we're good to go. We are good to go, children. So we are going to taxi on out of here. We're going to buggy off to the right there. Because I've never used this taxiway before, so. Oh, now it's not. Okay, I understand. I'm only kidding. You know I'm gonna wind up. Right, okay, so we shall take off parking brake, and we are good to taxi. Can you just let me see if the screen? Can anybody let me know if the crap. Right, just give me a second, people. How do we do this? Pause? Yeah, we'll do it with a pause. Hopefully it won't crash it. So, how the hell do I do this? It's not streaming. Is it on my live dashboard? Disconnect? Okay. And then connect. I'm guessing. Let's see if those update. Or we might have to do without them today. Unfortunately, we'll find out in a couple of seconds once it reconnects and does its thing. Or I can shut it down altogether, actually. Has it streaming? Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? Right, so please don't go onto the grass. Right. So, oh, and he's here to do me in as well. Right, hang on a second. We're just gonna hold short for a second. Sim Toolkit Pro. Right, hopefully when it loads up the second time, it'll feed the information, and you'll see the map and everything. I think because I had the crash, yeah, it looks like it's gonna do it. Because I had the crash, it unfortunately. It unfortunately seemed to all drop off, which is a... I'll just have to wait for it to kind of connect again now. I'll wait till we're just before takeoff. I don't think this is that busy of an airport, to be honest. I need to get the suction cups done on this joystick, you know. Let me just what was he on? Is it up? Yay, it's up. So everything's working now. You can see on the map where I am. I might be a little bit upset about that. Did you manage to get a bottle of Teachers? What was that? What was the name of that bloody thing I recommended earlier? Oh, let's go. High pressure aviation. High pressure aviation. They make some really good videos in 4K. So if you've got a 4K monitor and you fancy watching some approach landings, I really highly recommend that channel. Just watching them a bit earlier. Just really enjoying it. So yeah, the FMS, got that. Okay, so we want to turn the yaw damper on. I always forget the yaw damper, don't I? Didn't forget it fully today, although he's sat there patting himself on the back. I did forget the taxi lights, so can't pat myself on the back too much today. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. Actually, no, I bought a bottle of something called Bullet Bourbon. You should try that as well if you get the chance, Alice. I know, I think you said they were out of stock or something. Bullet Bourbon's really nice. Really, really nice. It's got a few clouds in the sky today, ladies and gents. And I'm not sure how long this flight's going to take. I'll have to have a good look at it. Sometimes, I think that's one of the things it doesn't take into consideration too much. And then I think we're gonna, if we have time, if it's not that far, we'll make our way down to Senegal and Dakar. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a very long stream tomorrow, and that's probably going to take us over Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Sierra Leone. We'll have to be careful there because it's dodgy as hell. Liberia, the Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, and Benin. And then I don't know if we'll get into Nigeria because it's, you know, we don't realise how big Africa is sometimes. We don't always realise exactly how big Africa is. Oh, okay. Well, it's a long taxi, isn't it? But I don't mind. I'm gonna run a second thing on Flight Simulator as well, so a second series. So we're gonna have this series which will be concentrating on long distance, but those nights I want to stream Flight Simulator, but I only have maybe an hour or something to stream. I'm actually gonna have some shorter trips, and I think we're gonna like base it around like passenger stuff, bit like Elite Dangerous, you know. So each time I'll have passengers going from X to Y to Z. Okay, parking brake on. I'm gonna just ask. Request clearance from the tower.
IND Tower, Ineffectual Gamer Niner 7 ready at runway 4 west departure.
We should get clearance.
Niner 7 cleared for takeoff runway 4 west departure approved.
Cleared for takeoff runway 4 Ineffectual Gamer Niner 7.
Okay, so we'll taxi into position. Trying to smuggle some blood diamonds. No, but I might include that in this new stream thing. It might just be different interesting passengers and stuff and going through. So you can see the windsock there. The wind's right on our nose. So we're going to set the flaps for takeoff. Taxi into the middle of the runway. Not following the yellow. And we are... Thunderbirds are go. Joystick incorrectly here. Didn't feel right. Okay, we are at takeoff speed. We're just gonna gather a little bit more if possible. Okay. Okay, we're in the air. Positive rate of climb. Still picking up speed. I'm trying to do this in the correct way. So fly in the runway heading. Oh.
Ineffectual altimeter 907 continue
Wait,
for west
sorry, I
departure.
didn't mean to
I
do
will
that.
contact you next when you leave my
Flaps up the
airspace.
wrong way. Okay, so I'm just gonna radio that back and acknowledge that.
Lion Tower Ineffectual Gamer 907 continue for west departure.
So it wasn't it wasn't west departure, but never mind. Let's have a good look around here in West Africa. Oh, they've got a football stadium. Can't be that bad. Can't be that bad at all. It's a bit choppy by the looks of it. See, they must have been marking out some huts there. Yeah, they've got a football stadium. Not doing too badly. It's a bit windy today. It's actually windy when we landed here as well, to be honest. Slightly windy when we landed here. But, well, that's a big city, but not a big city. Not a big city at all. And we are officially over the desert now. Look at this. And it seems very, very windy here. Let's have a look at what the wind is at the moment. So we've got, yeah, 27, 29 knots. The wind, so it's...
Ineffectual altimeter 907, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Lion Tower Ineffectual Gamer 907 frequency change.
So you can see there, that was going up and down every time it gets buffeted, so it's... and you can hear the wind. You can see how it's losing a little bit, making a little bit, because it's trying to keep it in 1,100, but... okay.
Lion approach Ineffectual Gamer 907 is type day or TBM 96 miles south of Lion. Request flight following.
Ineffectual altimeter 907 lay on approach. Squawk 7115.
Squawk 7115 Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Ineffectual altimeter 907 radar contact 7 miles south of Layout, 3,600 feet.
Yeah, I just changed the altimeter there because our altimeter was wrong. It's one of the things I sometimes forget.
Copy Ineffectual Gamer.
But if I'm going to do this right, you can't forget it. It looks like there's a lot of clay down there. And there is a river. Well, of course there is, because we're near the sea. There's going to be some, but just look at this. I actually don't mind seeing it like this. Crazy. Right, so we're going up to 5,000 feet, and the one reason I'm just setting for 5,000 feet at the moment is I just wanted to get an idea of how long this trip is. So it's actually quite a long way before we get to our custom waypoint. So I'm gonna lift us to 10,000, or maybe 8,000 actually. Maybe I don't know. So we're gonna set the altimeter. Yeah, we'll go to 8,000 and then just watch it a little bit. Wait, I'm going way too fast there. We'll go at 1,100 feet, 1,300 feet per minute. 400, 300. There we go. Okay. And we just went 100 over on the altitude. I mean, what's 100 feet between friends? You know. Looks like a third world slum. Well, you could say that. What are you going to do? We're in West Africa. This is a disputed territory, so it probably doesn't have any money. Probably has oil, but unless it's a settled area, they're not going to have any way of getting the expertise to pull it out. So. I bless the rain down in Africa. I should have played that song. I don't care about the copyright strike. I should have played it. I should have played it the other night when we were coming into land. Ooh. I apologise to all the cats out there. So yeah, I think between today and tomorrow, we might get to
119er decimal tree for Ineffectual Gamer 9er.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. You have to be very, very careful in these areas. Lawless.
Ineffectual Gamer 9er 77,000.
Lawless.
Ineffectual number 9er, 7 Canary Center, continue as planned. Altimeter tree, 0.01.
So we're what? 5 minutes out. So we might get there soon. We've got a very, very nice waypoint to visit today, as long as it's in the game. And this is the only thing about doing some of these things, because some of the things aren't in the game. So I don't know exactly how we're going to achieve some of these things, but you know, we can give them a go. But you've got to hope that these things are in the game, so... And a key airspace, yeah. Better look out for somebody on my tail. So we're seeing a little change here. As we get higher, we're getting to see a little bit more of how it looks. I definitely think the kind of... if 5,000, and even I actually even think a bit higher now is the best place to look at the surroundings, because we're pulling away from the sea now. We're kind of going into central I can't say it. Mauritania. I probably butchered that as well, but what are you going to do? So look at that. That is either one or two things. That white line is either from the map, so they've taken pictures at different times or scans at different times, or there's like a sandbar there which we can't see because we don't see it in 3D. But those lines seem too much like lines to me, so unfortunately I have a feeling it's where the photographs overlap. But nevertheless, there might be a big sandbar there, I don't know. I really don't know. Because there are blow marks on one side of it. And it is windy here, so wouldn't surprise me. Flying over some murky water, good bit of fishing to be had. I wonder if there's actually any fish in there. It's high in ammonia or something. Doesn't look like we're on an ammonia world, doesn't it? I absolutely love the drone cam. It's so much fun. You just get some really nice shots there. I mean, it's good for taking photographs. Look at that. That's a good shot. I haven't been photo collecting in game, unfortunately. Let's have a look. Oh, so manage. Oh, okay. So there was an update. That might be why. Okay. Right, I'm just going to quickly go through the updates. Wow, a lot of updates to Sim Connect. Because I'm hoping that the streaming part might have fixed it a little bit. Nope. Dagnammit. Show registration. Nope. Show flight phase. Nope. Show call sign. Nope. Okay, so it doesn't. Alright. Well, we can live in hope. We were living in hope. Okay, so we're now at 8,000 feet, which is pretty much where I wanted to get the plane to. And actually, we're not a huge distance away. So I think I'm going to knock us up to 10,000 feet. Click virtual speed, vertical speed, not virtual. And this time it forgot what we were doing. So we got up 1,000. 1, 2, 3. So I'm not flying IFR today. This is VFR, and I think once we get into certain areas, a lot of it will be VFR. So we won't be doing IFR landings. A lot of them will be me having to land it on my own, which is fine. I feel comfortable doing it now. I really, really do. I feel much more comfortable than I did a week or so ago, but now it feels almost second nature, to the point where I've started being a little bit competitive with myself in order to because I feel like I want to get better landings each time. Just realised I didn't post the stream. I posted it earlier as the advertisement, but I didn't post the actual stream. Let's have a quick look. Copy link. Discord. Do it on the tablet. So, I was hoping to be doing Mafia tonight, but it doesn't look like I got it. So maybe when I can afford to get it or something. Maybe when I can afford to get it. Oh, shoddy work. Paste. Right, I'll put that up on the Discord. And hopefully anybody who wants to come in will come in and have a look at it. So, and I don't know if anybody wants to try the Division 2 this weekend. Myself and Ellidsgar could maybe help people rank up if they want to try it out. It is available from today until Monday, I do believe. Now I actually think for this part of the trip we might actually stay at 8,000 feet, because where we're going might be better. I can always click the autopilot off, descend, do some crazy flying to get us to where we want to be. But this is a nice colouring on this airplane. I can't do this type of editing, but I'd love to be able to edit the logo onto the back fin and onto the wings there. It would be really nice to have the Ineffectual logo on there. But I don't think it's possible. So, where was I? Oh yeah, I was on that, wasn't I? So, yeah, there's not a lot to be seeing in these countries, as in places to go, but we will be flying through them. We're going to go, the idea is to go through, if I can get it to bloody work properly, the idea is to go through all these countries I mentioned earlier, then through Nigeria, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Republic of Congo, even touch the Democratic Republic of Congo, then Angola. I don't know what the hell that country is. What's that country called? Belize. Belize. Where else did I want to go? Angola. I said Angola. Oh, I should have just done this on Google Maps. It's much easier. down into Namibia. There's maybe something to see in Namibia, then down into South Africa, and then we'll make our flight over to the Falkland Islands, I do believe, which will be a long overseas flight. So my plan is, I will stream it, but I won't be sat here talking. I'll probably be in bed. But I want to stream it because I do intend to fly these routes. I might just leave that one to my co-pilot to do my bidding while I have a kip in the back of the TMB. I love how you can look at this. You can see the screens. Look at that. I don't think they work, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, you have to admit. I will not be painting dildos on the Ineffectual aircraft. Ineffectually going where no Ineffectual has gone before. Absolutely not. I feel upset that you even mentioned it, Brian. So, yeah, so, well, 10,000 feet. I'm thinking maybe we might go up. Yeah, let's go up a little bit more so we can get there faster. Okay, so we'll knock her up to, let's say 18, 20,000. We'll start with 18 and see how close we are then. Oh. Okay. I'm going to actually see what the maximum TBM climb rate is. Actually, I'll do it on my. I'll do it on here. TMB, sorry. Maximum TMB 930. Or is it TBM? I wouldn't be surprised. Climb rate. Okay, so essential TBM aero. Okay. Well, I'll get that information in a second. I'll get it. Okay, let's see, TBM 930, exhaust, oh, feck off, right, performance, let's see, right, all it says under performance is 330 knots, but it must tell you what the climb rate is. Doesn't say a lot, to be honest. I'm actually quite surprised. It's a lovely aircraft, I'm going to be honest. I really enjoy flying it. I really do. And it does a little bit of everything. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it does a little bit of everything. So yeah, we're definitely too high here for kind of general VOR. And we've left the coast pretty much behind now. You can see it a long, long way off. But we will, as we get closer to the custom waypoint, we'll descend. And then for the last part, I think we'll probably ascend. Now you notice I used to have lots of markers. I've turned most of them off now, just because I don't think that they really serve anything. And they're a bit intrusive. What's that there? Well, it's just some markings in the middle of the desert. But stuff like that, I find that quite intriguing. Somebody at some point made those markings. There's no houses around here, but they're there nonetheless. And we will go have a look when I fly over Peru. We will go have a look at the Azteca lines. I don't know if anybody's done a mod for Machu Picchu yet. I'm not too sure, but all of that could come beforehand. If you saw the other day, they're going to do a big update. Where are my words? They're going to do a big update to Japan on the 29th. I do believe that'll drop. Now, I've heard that some of it will be payware. Now I understand where Microsoft are going to make their secondary cash. Cha-ching! Because what they're going to do is they're going to update country by country and charge you for the airports and stuff, I'm guessing. I'm guessing the scenery itself will come free and then the airport upgrades will come free, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it works, how it goes. But I have to say I'm enjoying the views from here. This is so cool. Very, very different from what we were seeing over Spain and Portugal. Just night and day. I mean, this honestly feels a bit like how I feel Mars would look like. You see this river down here? It really does make me... And of course when we get into certain parts of Africa, we'll be able to look at the flora and fauna, because I haven't actually looked at that properly yet. And so... yes, the sun, I think it's an effect that I have set in my settings, my graphical settings, because I've noticed that my sun looks strange, and sometimes it makes the water look strange as well. But I've turned off ambient occlusion. I've turned that off. I've turned depth of field off, and I know that all of these can really affect the way some things look, but they're frame rate killers, so I have them turned off. I mean, I was always told not to stare at the sun anyway, so it makes no difference to me. So yeah, this is kind of how I always think that this is how I think that Mars would look. That's a good shot, I like that. I'm guessing there are trees down there. Whoop. Oh no, they're not. I don't know. You never know. It's not elephants, I know that much. Oh, we're over speeding. I thought we might be a little bit at 18,000 feet. Wait, got that speed up a little bit. Okay. So let's have a look at our map now. Okay, so we're on our way now. I am going to knock us up another 2,000 feet though, because I would like to get us there just a little bit quickly, as quickly as possible. Oh, let's go. I question. Have you had a few already? I question some people's sanity who come into this stream. One, that they would come into the stream in the first place. That's the first time I question their sanity. They need to give you the option of changing this leather and stuff. I'd prefer more beige or even a cream leather in this thing. That's just me. I can't wait until the first company manager add-on comes out. I know there's some websites that do it now, but I'm not bothering. There is one current add-on, but it doesn't quite work with the game. It works, but some parts of it don't. And to be honest with you, I'm sure someone somewhere is working on a business end add-on, because I really think that will attract even more people to the sim, to be able to kind of run your own company and whatnot. But if not, I'll just do it. I'll make some backstories and stuff, and I think they need to make a paint kit designer as well. Okay, so we are arriving at 20,000 feet now, so that's good. Can't believe how flat Africa is. Actually, Western Africa anyway. West Africa. Really flat. Really flat. And I'm kind of not used to that. I was talking to somebody the other day who was from the Netherlands, saying that it was a bit too hilly round here. But I was like, I'm not used to seeing flat, so much flat. Really not. Just check the airspeed there. The torque, sorry. 97. Alright, and we're doing 218, 219. Well, now we're at cruise. We'll probably pick up a bit of speed. That's kind of exactly what we wanted. We are under Canarias Center, so we're under the Canary Islands control, which is strange. Wouldn't expect that. Got a couple of airports around us if there was an emergency, but there isn't going to be, because just 2 bottles, yeah. Bottle of Squatch. Okay, so we're making our way there now. I might go up to 25 actually. We should have just gone up to 30 from the beginning, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't know. I couldn't work out how far it was. I will now. I'll know now. And that's another great thing in this game, being able to put in all these custom waypoints and go out and have a look at stuff. It's very good potato soup. But this view is getting nice. Some volcanic rock down here by the looks of it, or leftover volcanic rock. Really does look. Can you imagine Mars would look like this? We don't need to send a rocket. Just need to go to Africa. We're leaving the sea behind, truly behind us. We can barely see the sea back there. Also on the descent as well, we'll get there a little bit faster because we pick up speed on the descent. I think we'll actually start our descent when we reach to this marker line here. This is actually the border going into Mauritania, so we're about halfway across West Africa, and then once we reach this line we'll be going into Mauritania. Mauritania, not Mauritania, Mauritania. Butchering it. And then we'll start our descent from here. I think it'll be the best thing. Now, oh, we're talking it just a bit too much, so we're just going to pull back slightly. So this one, actually, I've never really... We've got time, you see. I've never really played around with this too much. And, so I think I have to go further in. Map settings. Maybe it's that one that does it. Yes, that one does. I can tell because I can see on the actual thing that it's going out. So that must be zooming in, would be my impression, because look at that. You can actually see the ground underneath us moving. And we're shifting now, actually. Because we're quite high up is why. And then that's its maximum out. So I like that one for this one. I think it gives us a better idea of where we... Well, it gives me a better idea where I am, just quickly looking down. If I need to go further into... If I want to get further in like this one probably does a better job, so... I'm just going to nick the torque up a little bit. Because we don't really want to be losing. We've lost a bit of speed, that's all, on the climb up. Yep. And of course, because we're doing a GPS flight, we don't have to get a flight following or anything, so they don't tell us where we have to climb, where we have to descend, which is pretty cool. I don't know whether you could do this in reality. I think if you flying at high altitude, you would probably have to do an IFR following, but we can't because we had to. It wouldn't let me do it with our. So I'm guessing that's a little like some little mountains down there. That looks amazing, though. That is outstanding. So, look at that. You can't tell me that just doesn't look absolutely beautiful. That's a screensaver, that. I won't, but it is. Okay, we're at 25,000 feet. No, we're going to go the whole hog. I think if we go from 30 to 8, we'll be down quicker than we think. So we are going to go up another 5,000. Try and get us at that point. Don't forget, if we overfly it or we're not at the correct flight height, I'll be able to make some changes, but this just looks so cool, really does. I might add to my face actually. I didn't do it on the splash screen for this one actually, but I like adding the face thing. Oops. So we're just gonna drop the torque a little bit because we don't want to burn those engines out. We won't burn the engines out because I've got stuff like that turned off at the moment. I'm gonna have a look at it because I don't want to be doing this and having to deal with emergencies and stuff. I think it's a bit daft. But I wouldn't mind actually sometime in the future having a thing where an emergency could pop up and I have to deal with it. I do remember that in Microsoft Flight Simulator X, I once had my gears stuck halfway down and I had to manually pump them, which was pretty good. And then another time I had the landing gear fail and had to do a belly landing, and did it. The funny thing was, the belly landing I did better than any other landing because of course you're coming in as slow as possible, you're trying not to bounce, so like you're gliding over the runway. So I was doing it so carefully, I put it down absolutely perfectly. But when you're landing, it's a bit different. It's like hell for leather. I don't know, I think I could have learned something from that day. But as I say, I'm really starting to feel comfortable in this plane now, so landings and things, I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with it. As I said, I've been watching this high pressure aviation, yeah. And their videos are pretty cool. It gets you kind of looking at things that as a pilot now, rather than looking at it for fun. Should I say for fun? So I'm just trying to see if there's any flights around me because I have got live traffic on. That's Western Sahara. I'm not seeing any air traffic at the moment. On flight radar. Okay, just gonna push up a little bit. Okay. Oh sugar. 3002 it was. Okay, so we are officially at cruising altitude of this airplane. Its maximum cruising altitude, 30,000 feet. And I'm telling you something, the other thing about Flight Simulator X is it never gave scenery like this. Never. I was talking before about, you know, about how the world mesh in this game is slightly small. Now, I don't know whether I dreamt it or I read it, but apparently there is going to be an upgrade to that. So I think they're aware that the mesh doesn't fit in a lot of places. So I don't know if they're going to do it with that country thing. So, for example, Japan will get it first and then other countries will get it later on. And I'm guessing this whole country upgrade is going to be probably monthly, because didn't it come out around the 29th of last month? So if it did, I don't know, or was it the 16th? I don't know. But it could be that they bring like a country upgrade every month or something. And as I said, for the most part it's free, but I think they'll be trying to sell airports and stuff, and rightfully so. If you are watching and you are considering, even just considering buying Flight Simulator, I will tell you that it is backed by Microsoft, and they do have a 10-year plan for it. So it'll be money well invested, even if you don't buy even if you don't buy any of the add-ons, because I won't be buying lots and lots of add-ons. No way. I'll buy some, but I won't be buying lots. Some people spend thousands upon thousands, but unlike other games, not to be mentioned, when you buy an add-on in this game, you do generally get your money's worth. You really do. But as I said, it's got a pretty good modding community, so the modding community is working hard at the moment as well. Lots and lots of community creations. Some fixing things, some doing the work of the developers. It's really nice to see a community working so hard. You might, Eledgar. You actually might, but you got the version with extra stuff in it now, so you get more than the other people. So I don't know if you will get it, but was it called the Super Deluxe Edition? I don't think it was called the Super Deluxe Edition, was it? That sounds like something a child would say. Mine's Super Deluxe. I think it was Deluxe. Wasn't it Standard, Super, and then Deluxe? Something like that. I think. Oh, I forgot to turn my preview off. Okay, so as you can see here, we are approaching the border. You can see it here, this backwards L shape. That is the border, and we are getting there pretty quickly. Doesn't look like the airplane's moving there, but I can see it with my eyes. I don't know if you can in the stream very well. It's saying there's some interesting formation off the right wing, so I'm just going to check that out. So I don't know what it's talking about. It must be these hills here. It's like, because we're so high, you now can't see if there is any mountains. I'm getting all of this ridgeline. I'm guessing if you're lower down, it would look a little bit nicer, but it'll take forever to get where we're flying to. So it was better to just come up to 30,000 feet. But we will start a steady decline as we hit this marker here. So we're not far off that. Just put the engines up a little bit. 99, 100. Don't go to the next one. Damn it. There we go. Alright, I'll sit on 99 there. Oh, 98, never mind. Well, 98 is better than nothing. And we are 212 knots. We've got a crosswind of 6 knots, so it's maybe stopping us from going a little bit faster. But our maximum is 230 anyway. We're going to be overspeeding once we get into that area. But luckily, this plane doesn't have... is it AWACS? I can't remember its name now. AWACS or CCAS? No. I think it's AWACS, where it calls out. You know, it's like overspeed, overspeed, overspeed. These ones generally have like a clicking sound or something. So it just makes a constant clicking sound when you overspeed. Standard Deluxe, Premium Deluxe, that's it, not Super Deluxe. Okay, yeah. So Denver Airport's pretty good, Eledgar. You want to have a look at that? I couldn't find the thing when I looked at it. The horse, but I'm sure it's there. Okay, so we're not far off the border now. Pardon me. You just can't believe all of the desert here, can you? And we've left the sea behind now. We can't even see the sea. Somewhere behind this heat haze. We just cannot see the sea now. We've totally left it behind. Well, we're a long way inland, actually. A long way inland. So there is a mountainous region in this area, and we'll kind of be passing, actually, a little bit of a mountainous region, and we'll see. You'll be very interested in what we see tonight. I'm pretty sure we're going to see it in all its glory. I'm not too concerned that we won't. I think it's going to be impossible for the game not to have it, and I don't want to spoil what we're actually going to see, because I think it's going to be good to see. That looks like a town. No, it isn't actually. I don't know if it's a lake of some type. I thought there was a building there, but look at this. Look at this. Got a little bit of greenery over here. Just trying to. Wait, I forgot about the where we are. No, we're not over. We're not over. Wait, didn't mean to do that. Get off. Okay, so we're almost at the border now, but if you look over there, there's a little bit of greenery. Just gonna try and... So what the heck that is, I don't know. Should have started this tour in America, but I'm going to be honest with you. If we started this tour in America, the first month of me doing it would probably not live up to. The rest would not live up to it, because there's a ton of stuff to do in the US. A ton of stuff that. Oh. Okay. Okay. Because we're going over the border now. Just short of it, but we've got. But if we're leaving Canary airspace behind, and there's a St. Louis in Senegal. I wonder if that's where it came from. Okay, we are just passing the border now. I just want to check something here. I just want to zoom out and check something. So we're in this top part here. Okay, yes, we are heading in the right direction. Everything seems fine. Okay. So, so there's our custom. Yeah, and I think what we're going to do is we are now going to start going down. We'll go down in stages, because I don't want to... Right, 4, 3. We'll go down in stages, because I don't want to go down too quickly. We just have to watch our speed a little bit. In fact, we'll do it 1,000 feet a minute at the moment. Do it around 1,000 feet a minute, so it should take us about 5 minutes to get down this step, and then we'll have a look. Need to keep a bit of an eye on the airspeed, because our torque's now gone up to 100, and now it's topped to 100, so I have to keep an eye on that and adjust as needed, because we'll also pick up airspeed, a little bit of airspeed here as well. I don't think I'm saving the US for last. The US will be somewhere in the middle, but it will be the longest part of the whole thing, because there's just a ton of stuff I want to do in the US. So kind of each state's going to have its own stream, I think. And it's going to be a real VFR flight. A lot of custom waypoints. Yeah. It's going to be good. I'm going to enjoy it, I'm sure. I was saying we might go to Senegal, but you know, No, we do have to go to Senegal, Gambia, and everything. But I don't know if we'll go to Dakar. We might go somewhere else so that we can pass over more stuff. I don't really fancy just following the coast all the way. If we follow the coast too much, we won't get to see a lot of other stuff. Now, once we get over Mauritania, we come out of deserted Africa, and we actually start going into we'll be at the equator, so well, near the equator, so we'll start going into like the forested part of Africa, before then going back to the drier parts in the south when we get to like Namibia and South Africa. So, and then when we're crossing over to Argentina, there's actually a few places to stop on the way over, which is going to be interesting, I think. He says, but all that will have to wait, because we can't walk before we can run, and we're still only in Mauritania. We've come a fair way from Spain, to be honest. We really have. That's why I was saying before, I might start doing a bit more of going to altitude and then kind of coming down to look at certain things. But in Africa, unfortunately, there isn't a ton of actual places where the game thinks we should be going or looking at, so we'll have to... Oh, well, you can see there's a land change now again. So the land here is going to look very different as well. Can you see these kind of lines here? So look at this. Look at all of this. So you can see like the different types of water erosion here, and how it causes the land to look. And here, this is really nice to see. Actually, I'm gonna sit up a little bit in the cockpit. So yeah, we're at 25 now, and hang on a second, am I on drugs? Why isn't this one updating? This map is not showing the same as this one, so we're gonna we should be somewhere here, and I don't understand why. Let me try something. Actually, I'll get us going down first. So, first technical fault. Well, it acts as though we're travelling, so one of them is lying. Oh no, it seems like maybe a different line, but I don't understand why. It's the same line as here, but it's in a different position. Which is very strange. It looks. Yeah, it is. The airplane's in the correct spot. It's these lines that have changed. So I don't know which one's incorrect. I think it might be the one on here. So you can see the custom marker down here, and you can see it here. So we are getting much closer now. Much closer. Which is why I wanted to come down to altitude. And as this custom waypoint comes up, we should be, I'm thinking, around 10 to 8,000 feet. We'll then climb out again once we've had a good look around, and we shall I don't know, overcome someday. What was I thinking there? We shall go on to our airport, which is in Nouakchott, apparently. Nouakchott. So we'll climb out, we'll go there and we'll land, and then that's where I kind of have to make the decision of how we travel through Middle Africa, because we'll be right on the edge of Middle Africa there. Central Africa, I guess you'd call it. But on the west side, so. So, 23,000 feet. Victoria Falls doesn't show up, unfortunately. And some of the places you're talking about are in North Africa towards Egypt, yeah, but we won't be going up there yet to Egypt. That will be much later on when we're coming back, because we're going to stay on the west side of Africa, and then we'll fly out over to Argentina. I was going to do it west to east originally, but now I'm going to do it east to west. Well, north to south, east to west, then south north, zigzagging, and then, as I said, when we get to the US, it's going to be interesting. Very different. So I think the last place we'll see in Africa will be Cape Town in South Africa, and that will be our final stop before we fly out over to Argentina. We're probably going to maybe try to go to somewhere called Inaccessible Island, and there's another place as well. So yeah, there's just but you know, I'm speaking about that, but that could be weeks before we even arrive there. You know, this is a trip which is going to take a long time. So I'm going to actually, looking at where we are, I think I'm very happy with how we're descending. So we're going to go, I'm going to put it down to 10,000 because we're not descending too rapidly. And I think we'll more or less be at our point by the time we get to 10,000. Or maybe a little bit before it, who knows. You just see how barren this desert is now. There's no roads or anything. So a lot of it's probably, well, the majority of it is probably charted from like aeroplanes and stuff, but as for people ever having boots on ground, there's probably a lot of places here never. Probably never. And there's a couple of islands in the South Atlantic Ocean I'd like to stop at if possible, on the way across to Argentina. Hey Malcolm, how's it going? Welcome into the stream. How are you diddling this evening? How far are we into the stream? 1 hour 20. Oof. It's quite long. Oh, that's nice. I can't be water there, can there? Bum 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 bum. I hear the drums that go in tonight. Tears of whispers. Alright, I'll try not to sing. It's just stuck in my head, that song now. So I'm thinking here, this line you can see is actually where it starts getting more forested and the desert comes to an end, so... Can't remember my flight plan now. I can't remember my flight. I think we're going to fly all the way back over. We are to the sea. But I don't know whether to try and change that for Dakar. If we're gonna fly down there, I'm thinking we might as well fly to Dakar, but it's hard to say. So I'm gonna have a look at the flight plan actually. I think it might just be worth flying out to Dakar. So look, now the problem is, well, you can add a waypoint. Select destination airport. Okay. Alright, just give us a second while I work out what this is then. So Dakar airport. Do we even need to go to Dakar? That's the thing. We could go to let's have a look. Senegal. There's a place right on the border called Kaidi. Right on the border of Senegal. So I don't know. It's on the Mauritania side actually. Mauritania, sorry. Let's have a look. So K-A-E-D-I. Whoops. K-A-D-E-I. K-A-D-E-I airport. There we go. Berberati airport would be the closest one by the looks of it. Yes. Which would be F-E-F-T. The airport is the one where... Okay. And it is... Let me just check the map. Where the frick is it? One second, people. I need to run Google Maps. Just tell me if I overrun the custom waypoint, will you? Maps. Sorry about that, I didn't mean to leave it looking at that. Right. Wait, not that. Go over. Balls. Have I messed that up? No thanks. Right, let's see where this is. Paste. Oh cripes, no, we're not going there. Aye. This is harder than I thought. Okay, we might have to just go to Senegal. I don't even know how you find airports on here. I mean, I suppose we could fly the flight following down to Senegal and just look for an airport in the local area and request a flight following, maybe. Right, people, this is actually, on this map, this is a really hard decision to make. And I don't know if going to Dakar... No, we're going to go to Dakar. I'm going to find Dakar. Give us a second. Wow, Dakar Airport, okay. Dakar Airport is Senghor International, serving Dakar, the capital of Senegal. Right, okay, and its ICO code is GUI. G-O-O-Y. And it's found it. Alright, cut. Enter. And yeah, it's rerouted us, I think. Just gonna have a look on this one. GPS tracking. Yeah. Okay, that was easy. That was easier than I thought. Okay, cool. We're rerouted. So we're almost on our custom waypoint. I'm going to zoom out a little bit while we aim to get there. Wow, look at this. I didn't even notice this. Look at this. Like I said, every single time you open your eyes here, it changes. This is fantastic. Fantastic. And we're really not far away from our custom waypoint now, which we set, so my hope is that we're almost there, so we're gonna have some tracking. We're at 12,000 now. Could have probably come down at about 500, to be honest with you, but I didn't realise that we were going a bit slower there. See, these are all the things that slow you down a little bit. You have to keep an eye on them. This is amazing. Look at it. Fly an icon. Do you know how long that would take? It'd take forever. But look at this, is just beautiful. It really is. These colours are just sensational. Okie dokie, so we're at 10,000 feet now, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, so I think we'll fly down to Dakar Airport just so I can work out a little bit better exactly what I want to do from there. Trying to get that map in just a sweet spot where I can see what's what. Wow, you see the view from the cockpit is so different from the view from outside. Even though in theory you'd think we had a better view from... Oh, that was me. From the outside. We don't. So we should have this like little line of mountains in front of us, which is what I do believe this is, but at 10,000 feet it's hard to say. We have got a little bit of cloud coming in. I might change the weather for the flight over to Dakar. Could even maybe do a practice landing somewhere here out in the sticks. It's barely an inconvenience. Just those children in the back crying and complaining. Yep. Yep. Okay. Right. You know what? I think we're gonna go up a little bit. Aliska kind of said something that's just made me think. So we are gonna go vertical speed and we're gonna go up pretty fast. Not too fast. I don't want to break what's allowed. I don't want to put us in a stall or anything. But look at this now. Wow. This is cool. So if you have come into the stream, don't go anywhere. We're almost at our destination of what we were wanting to have a quick look at. Actually, I think we might go... I'm wondering if... We're at 12 now. Let's try 16. Don't want to go too crazy. No, let's leave it at 15. No, let's go 16. It's 3,000 more than now. Oops, didn't mean to do the VNAV. 16. She has not. Give over. She's happily sat there enjoying herself. She's like Laura Ingalls of the airwaves. Okay, cool. So, I'm just going to pull back a little bit on the talk. I'm not worrying too much about that. I think after an hour and 20 minutes I deserve another beer. But we'll get to the custom waypoint first and then I'll go get a beer and maybe... Whee! I lent on my rudder there. Little Sally's just whoop, baffed in the mouth. Okay. Hold it in back there. And if you need a pee, go in the mayonnaise jar. It's under the seat. Right, so now again, just completely different world. Look at it. Black volcanic rock. Look at it. And just ahead of us here, you can see our intended destination just off the nose. See this here? This was our intended destination. And this is the Richet structure, or sometimes known as the Eye of Africa. It almost exactly fits the description of Plato's version of Atlantis. That's disgusting. So, and they have found fossilized seashells here, so it is this is very likely the most likely location of the lost city of Atlantis. Now, wow, look at it. This is better than I thought, and I thought it would look good. I thought it would look good in this game, but this it looks better than I thought. This whole land here is amazing. it looks... There's so much detail here. But as you're coming across it, just look at this. I'm trying to keep it central on the screen because I'm aware of kind of the different overlays. So I think this might be a good time to go to the... Look at that. How's that for a view? If we go on the old drone cam... You can't tell me that isn't outstanding. Look at it. And I'm going to be honest with you, altitude just doesn't even make a difference, to be honest. You might have had a few that night, Brian. I said we were visiting it. When you said, is Atlantis in it? I said, actually, it possibly is. Look at it. That is amazing. I've never seen this before. I've watched documentaries, but I've never seen it before. And I purposely avoided looking at any photographs of it on the web. That is unbelievable. Just the colours. I don't know what would cause the green. I'm guessing it's some type of vegetation maybe that causes it, but look at it. And I don't know if that's salt deposits in the centre there, but you can see why it gets the name of the Eye of Africa. I mean, it really looks like an iris. That is absolutely bananas. Oh, we're making our turn now. Heading towards Dakar. That is absolutely bananas. I'm at full zoom here, and we're at what, 20,000 feet, and you can't even get a decent, like, look at that. That truly is a wonder of the world. That truly is. That is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm blown away by that. I really am. I'm just gonna go into the cockpit and set the set us to a climb now. We're gonna go to 31,000 feet. Give up fighting, you two. Get a grip. I didn't really want to do this now because I want. Yeah, I'll just set the virtual speed to go up. The vertical speed to go up. I'll do 1.3. Alright. I'll set the climb just going, so, because kind of backed off it a bit now, haven't we? I know. Okay, still got a pretty good view from here. That is absolutely amazing. That's the first thing on this trip that is absolutely. The guy has a maybe this. Yeah, maybe there is. Guy has a YouTube channel called Bright Insights. Talked about a while back. All right, I might have a look at that, Ellen's car. That is the first thing on the trip that has completely blown my mind. That is outstanding, and that's exactly why I wanted to do this. Exactly why I want to do this. It's just, that is superb. And now we've passed it, it's a bit different, but in the centre it really did look like an eye. Why can't ED Frontier put crap like that in the game to discover? I wonder what caused it to be perfectly circular like that though. There's nothing else around that. I wonder if there was maybe just water was eventually, I don't know, got like went around and then went underground or something. Which maybe caused it. Oh, our first road down there. It's the first road we've seen in a while. It goes under there. Okay, so we're going to say bye-bye to the Eye of Africa. That was phenomenal to look at that though. It really was. Right, I'm going to set us for flight level 310. We are going to have a climb of 115. Okay, oh, 1516. Hang on, what have I got it set at? 18? No, thank you. Alright, we'll do 16. What's that? Just under 5% nose. 99% torque. Wow, that's good stuff. Right, people, give me 1 second. I'm just going to go to the loo and grab a beer, and I'll be back in the shake of a lamb's tail. Okay. It's really... Oh, right. You got me. Right. Let's see where I am. Let me put my whiskey on here. I wasn't going to drink tonight because I had a couple last night and maybe one too many and thought, well, tonight I'll have a day off. Wow, you can still see the eye behind us. It's still there, just over here. I thought I won't drink tonight, but it's Friday. You can't not have a drink on Friday. Oh, so there's an airport very close by, actually. In theory, we could have landed there and maybe taken the drone out, but well... Que sera, sera. Okay, so what or what? Right, so we've got a bit of a flight now, ladies and gents. We're going to Dakar, but we are going to go to 31,000 feet. I am going to check if that is the flight ceiling, or if this is actually, this particular model's been able to get up any higher. So let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look at its wiki and see what it can do. Right, origins, no thank you. Design, no thank you. Variants, we know there's variants. 930, okay. So, alright, so in actuality it should be able to do 330 knots as its maximum cruise speed. Its cruise flight level is flight 310. It's a lovely plane. I really enjoy it. I really do. I love the exhaust outlets, which you can actually see the air wobbling around them. From inside the craft you can only see it a little bit. From here you can see it wobbling over this. It's so cool. That's me and Eladzgar. Unfortunately it's a slightly better looking version of Eladzgar, and about 85 years younger. So I'm only kidding, mate. It's just, I think it looks like a lovely plane, I really do. And it's kind of one of the best mid-range, well, it is the best kind of small aircraft. If you want to go faster and stuff, you're going to end up having to go, or at least have the comfort of this, you're going to have to go for the Cessna. And at that point, you know, you're talking big money. So it's a different thing, isn't it? 50 Shades of Green, Jesus. So yeah, so it's we're at nearly 30,000 feet now, climbing 2009 through. So I'm guessing, yeah, there's ATAR, which is a close airport, but oh, we'll see. But we're on Dakar Centre now, so now with me working out kind of the best descent and stuff like that, I actually think that I feel quite comfortable going and trying to make my own little approach, getting down to flight level. I don't actually think it's probably that difficult, because we'll be coming in over the sea. I'm just trying to get, like, zoom in on the actual airport, but it's really hard. Oh, and it doesn't show the airport or anything. So as we're coming in over the sea, we're probably going to have to get down to 2,000 feet, request a landing, and then we'll work it from there. So because I don't know what the active runway or anything is. Normally you'd look up the ATIS of that place, tune it in, see what the sorry, 1 second. Yeah, you'd see what the you can see procedures and stuff actually, but I just don't know how to set half of this. That's the thing. I know, like, the approach speeds and stuff. That's fine. Go. Well, I don't do it in this way. I do 190 and then 85 on the last. So it's easier numbers to remember for me. Okay, now we are up at cruise altitude, so we're going to put the engines up a little bit, just to give ourselves a little bit of a push. hopefully we'll get somewhere up to cruise speed. Now, as I said before, here it's saying that we should be able to do 330 knots, which is 100 over this. So I don't know exactly why Microsoft didn't implement that, and hopefully somebody might make a mod or something, or maybe I'm just not reading this right, but it is saying that. So now there is, hopefully somebody will produce the TBM 940, because the TBM 940 has auto throttle, so that would be nice. I'm pretty fast, and only costs 4.13 million, so that's alright. That's alright. If I won the lottery, I'd have to buy an aeroplane. I really would. Really would. Ooh. What was that? A big gust of wind just big gust of wind just hit us there. Okay, so in reality it's nighttime here, so I'm going to change to the live nighttime because we've seen what we were going to go see. So what I'll do is I'll change to the live nighttime, and the weather's live, so that's okay. The weather's live. And look at that, that's beautiful. So a quick look there. We would have probably seen the Eye of Africa in the dark, but I don't want to see any of these things in the dark. There's the Milky Way up there. Just see the edge of it. Kind of half chasing the sun a little bit here. Shut up. I ride my scooter well, I love you now. Plus you can take lessons, can't you? I can't see if that is a line of clouds. I think it is. It looks like a line of clouds. Yeah, it is actually. I can just see some stars through it there. So hopefully we're heading into that, and we'll have a little bit of weather, a different weather as we come down into the car. Obviously I'm going to follow normally the live weather, but if we're going to see something I might have to pause take the live weather off and put in a clear day just so we can see these places, but then turn the weather back on. It's a little bit it breaks the reality of it a little bit, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. I think I showed you this light the other day. I love it. Look, lights up my wing. I think they should just have these lights on the wing anyway, on both of them. I think it just makes it look cooler at night. But apparently that breaks certain rules, so they don't. So we'll turn it off. That'll definitely come in handy in Alaska whenever we get there. Probably 2022. I didn't open my beer. I've got a Budweiser here. King of beers, apparently. Even though it's stolen from a Czech company. Did you know that? All the branding and everything stolen from a Czech company. Real man of genius. So yeah, and there is a plane I saw earlier, but I don't remember the name. I have to go back on my watch history of YouTube. There's I'm hoping it gets put into Flight Simulator. It is a beauty of a plane. It's a small two-seater like this, but a little bit cozier. And this screen is up. This screen is up here, and then these screens are pushed together, and then it kind of has a lot of switches along here, just but they're all kind of apparently like they're all in line with what you need to do in order of what you would do, and it was nippy, but the video is great. I'm going to start actually putting some aviation videos in the Discord for anybody to watch, because just seeing people moving around airports and stuff, it's pretty good. All white beers crap, Brian. They're all white beers. White beers are crap. They're for getting drunk. I've never apart from in the middle of summer when I've been out in the heat all day and I grab a white beer and drink it and I'm like, Jesus, that tastes good. But a glass of water would taste good. White beer, it all tastes pretty much the same. Some are a little bit stronger than others, but I wouldn't call any of them like brilliant. Oh, but that's nice. But no, I think. But it's one of those things, isn't it? It's yeah. I like toasted beers. I like beers that have a bit of a toasted flavour to them. But I wouldn't want to sit and drink them all night because the flavour's quite aggressive. So, in class beat, fool's gold. I love that. Moody gold, we call it in England. Moody gold. They do. When I say white beers, I mean lagers. They do. They all taste pretty much the same. There's slight differences in variation, but what I mean is, I think. But having said that, Brian, that's not to say they're not nice or enjoyable, because I've got expensive taste buds, so I need to have things that taste really good. Otherwise, I just don't taste the subtlety. It all tastes the same to me. Like, no whiskey tastes the same to me. But if you were to give me a load of brand whiskey from blends, I probably would think they all taste the same. Unless one tastes kind of more smokier and one's a bit fruitier. I love whiskey. It's the best drink in the world. It's a shame it slowly poisons you, but it tastes good. It tastes nice. Some white beer does taste worse than others, admittedly. Heineken tastes like shite. Budweiser tastes better than Heineken, I think. And I know Elliscar was ripping me for it, but I like a bit of Blue Ribbon every now and again. I won't drink a lot of it, only a couple of cans, but I like it. Wine is one that you've probably noticed that I haven't drunk wine in ages, and that's because wine was one of the reasons I was having problem with my feet. So I actually stopped drinking it pretty much completely. I have it every now and again now, but like it'll be once in a right. So no, of course they don't taste exactly the same. So Bud doesn't taste like... Well, actually, Bud and Peroni I don't think is that far off. Carlsberg and Kronbacher, yes, I would say there's a difference, because I don't like Carlsberg. But what I'm saying is white beer is... The quality of it is not there to really... how can I put it? To rate it too highly, I think is the best way of putting it. I sound like a right beer snob, but I'm not. But it's like all apples don't taste the same. Every apple tastes different from the other apple, but they're all apples. They all taste like they're in the apple family. You don't eat one and think it's a lemon, you know what I mean? It's just... I just think white beer is... it's made en masse. It doesn't have a lot of heart put into it, you know, and so I'll drink it, but I don't get excited about it. We have one from here, Moritz it's called. I don't know whether you can get it over there in Scotland, but That's well worth a try. It's right on the line of being a white beer and a barrel beer. It's not. It's a white beer, but it's got a nice taste to it. But again, I wouldn't say I love it. But again, I'm not a beer aficionado, so maybe I'm talking shite. Maybe I am. The only one that I ever really noticed to drink a really big difference was with the old wife beater. I've forgotten its name now. That beer. What's it called? They drink it everywhere in England. You can't find it in Spain. But I wouldn't drink it anyway. I wasn't a big fan of it. I can't remember what it was called now. Duffel or Duff? Don't know. Let me have a look. Now, white beer in Germany is better, but that's because they have purity laws over there and they make it with better quality products. Duffel. Duffel beer. Ah, okay, yeah, I have had this, but I would not consider it. Okay, Brian. So this is where I was saying earlier that when I say white beer, so this I wouldn't consider this white beer. I mean, we say lager in England, but no other country calls it lager. I consider a white beer like factory made, en masse for drinking on a Friday night. But something like Duffel, no, I've had that. And in Germany, like there's thousands of this type of white beer, and no, I love them. Hefeweizen, Chimay, Leffe. Kind of think of another one. The one that always got me is, I'm not sure whether I like it, is Hoegaarden. I never know if it tastes good or if it tastes like dishwater. I'm still on the fence. I can never make my mind up. I think I might have written them in. I think I might have written those words in, so you can't knock stuff. So yeah. No, so all those Belgian white beers. Oh yeah, I'd sit all day and drink them because Belgium cares about its beer. Now, personally, I love a good stout. Really do love a good stout. Especially stouts from Tadcaster. Like Samuel Smith or whatever. Love Samuel Smith. It's impossible to... I'm going to be honest with you. It's impossible to find bad German beer. I went to a place called... Let me just check, because I want to make sure that that's where it was. I'm thinking Heidelberg. But Heidelberg is... It might not be Heidelberg. If I look on Google Maps, I'll know where I'm talking about in a second. Might be Heidelberg. But if Heidelberg is in... one second. Heidelberg... No, that's the wrong place. Heidelberg is the town of... Bamberg, not Heidelberg, Bamberg. Bamberg in Germany, which is just north of Nuremberg. It's a great area. Nuremberg, Erlangen, all of these places. Heidelberg's really nice because it has a huge castle on top of the hill. Bamberg, sorry, not Heidelberg. Bamberg. Okay, let's get it right. Right. And in Bamberg, they have something called Rauchbier. And Rauchbier goes through a toasting process. A smoking process, sorry. Hey Jack, how's it going? Oh yeah, it's a shame you've missed it. If you go back about at the end of it, if you go back about an hour 30 in the stream, you'll see the best part, because it was amazing. So if you go to our 130, 140, I'm guessing, yeah, 130, 140, you'll see the Eye of Africa, because that was outstanding. We're off to Dakar now. We're off to Dakar to land at Dakar airport, and we're having arguments about beer. So it's good to see you too, though, Jack. I was streaming the other night actually, and we missed you. I was wondering about you. Tenants is pish. So what was I saying about Bamberg? Yeah, they do. So they have this beer which goes through a smoking process, like you would smoke cheese, or you would smoke bacon. And I'm in this bar, and you have to understand that my German was really, really broken. I could understand some things, and I could say some things, but it was really, really broken. But this guy's trying to tell me how they made the beer, and then he gave me like I just remember, like I said, can I try it before I buy one, because I don't know if I like it, like smoked beer. It sounds really, really strange. And he's like, yeah, no problem, kind problem. And he pours this little glass of it and he gives it to me, and I drink it. And I have to say that with the first mouthful, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know if this is for me. And he went, yeah, but you have to understand, you need to drink about 3 or 4 glasses before you get used to it. I was like, I could drink 3 or 4 glasses of tequila and I'm going to get used to it. But that was a nice experience there. I'd love to go back to Germany. I really would. I really miss it. I used to go a lot, every couple of months. And used to spend most of my time around Nuremberg, surrounding areas, maybe a bit further south to Augsburg or Munich. Never been to the north. A lot of people who I know who live in the north or who visit the north, they always complain about it, so I don't know if I want to go to the north. But I love the southern part, especially Bavaria or Franconia. Love Franconia as well. Very important, yeah. Well, I'm drinking whiskey as well. We can talk whiskey. What's your favourite tipple, Jack? I only ever once had Tenants, and it wasn't even Tenants, it was Tenants Super Strength. Because I was 20 and I wanted to get twatted. So, never again. Never again. I lost the first layer of my stomach drinking that stuff. And I don't mean bringing it back up, I mean that it just eroded my stomach. So let me just check my map. Alright, so we're not far off a third of the way. I think we are a third of the way actually. And because we are at cruise altitude, we are not going to I was thinking that was Dakar there. Look, you can see some lights of a city there. Obviously because we're in the desert, it's pretty hard to see any lights of the city. But it can't be there because we are going in literally in a straight line to Dakar, so Warstein, yeah, very good. Warstein, is that the one that? Are you saying Warstein or Wappensteiner? Because there's a couple of, some of the names are very, very close. I'll do a quick. No, you're saying Warsteiner. Okay, just let me see the bottle, because sometimes. Alright, so that's like a standard beer. It's alright. What you want to try, Brian, but you need a big glass for it, is something like Wappensteiner or Wappen. Beer. I think it's Wappensteiner, if I remember rightly. They're all called Va something. Anyway, it's a Hefeweizen beer, and Hefeweizen is probably the best what's the word? The best. You can't drink a lot of it because it's heavy, really heavy. And if you drink too much, you get really plastered. I'm going to be honest, it's not a good plastered either. The day after the hangover is it's hellish, but it is very natural. So Bitburg. I remember Bitburg because it was very it walks into a proper conversation. It was very Bitburger was very famous from the Formula 1 in the 90s. It was one of the biggest sponsors. Best Hefeweizen beers. Let's have a look, because I want to see if it marks up with any of the ones that I really enjoyed. Okay, so the second one on the list is probably my second favourite actually, which is Schneiderweisse. Schneiderweisse Edelweisse, which is probably the best. I think it's the best, probably second. Well, Wappensteiner I really like, but theirs is I prefer the dark version, which is more like a stout. But Schneiderweisse for the Hefeweizen, the normal Hefeweizen it's probably the best actually. I'd try and show some pictures on screen, but I don't want to mess up anything because it crashed earlier. How are you doing, Jess? As usual, you've arrived a little bit late, so you've missed the most important part, but the banter is still here, and you can stay for the banter. You know? But if later on when the stream's finished you want to go back and look at about the hour 40 mark, you will see what we came to visit. This is very much like Elite, isn't it? I didn't think about it until earlier, but we go somewhere, we see something, and then there's this big travel back home where we're all singing together. Where do you live, Jack? I don't know if I've ever actually... I think I might have asked you before where you live, but I used to drink a lot back then. Do you know what? In the summer I like cocktails with dark rum, actually. And I've promised to buy myself a good bottle of dark rum at some point because I think you should have your palate should be blame the beer. I blame the wine. I think you should try your palate with a bit of everything. Love a bit of gin myself every now and again. I couldn't drink it every week, but like a bit of gin. Even like a bit of vodka every now and again without a mixer. I do like if it's a really good vodka. Look at that, the Milky Way there. We are in the dark here. This is so cool. This is really nice. It's a shame we don't have a temperature gauge to see what the outside temp is. Now at 31,000 feet it's going to be freezing anyway, isn't it? But it's going to be cold, so cold. Ah yes, west coast of Scotland, yeah. No, what for your sins? I love that saying. For me sins. You don't get any decent beer on the west coast? I suppose not, maybe not. It's the most beautiful part of Scotland. You get all the best whiskies, don't you, on the west coast? Are you Scottish yourself? I don't know if I asked you if you were Scottish before. Oh, come on, you can't say it's a sin. Look at that. I'm just looking and I'm trying to see some places on the west coast where... Jeez Louise, that place is fantastic. Full of lochs and rivers. No? bitter cold though. Having said that, Brian, my parents. Do you live in how? Oh no, you don't. I was going to say because if you lived in Aberdeen, go give my parents a kick up the arse. Don't get on well with my parents. But they moved to Scotland, to Aberdeen. Don't you get that? You get that thing in Aberdeen, the pressed croissant. But I always forget what its name is. Is it a laddie or a fatty or a something? A flatty? What's it called? You've told me this about 3 times, Brian, and I always forget the name. A buttery. Is it a buttery? I knew it's something-y. Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I'm used to mosquitoes here, so midges have nothing on me. Is it a buttery? A buttery or a laddie or a flatty or it's something E on the end. I remember that much. Also, deep fried Mars bars, Scottish cuisine. It isn't Scottish cuisine. I think one place made it, and that was it. That's all everybody thinks when they think of Scotland. Look at this. This is fantastic. It's great. Yeah, but okay, buttery. So I did remember it right. I do remember some things. Look, if we go outside the plane, we can see the icing light. How cool is that? That's what I mean by you should be able to light up your... I don't know why it doesn't have a tail light actually, which is a bit strange. It doesn't have a tail light that I'm aware of. Actually, we don't have icing, do we? Haven't. Over Africa, I very much doubt it at any point. But you never know. So, we are currently cruising 208 knots on a current heading of 227. And I don't know what the approach pattern will be or anything. I really don't. Now, originally I think we were going to go to one of these two here. One of these two airports here. But as I said, we kind of switched it a little bit. And we're now going to go down to Dakar. So we'll be coming over here, and then this is the border. So we'll be entering Senegal. We'll enter Senegal, then we'll go back out, fly over the sea a little bit, and then we will come down into Dakar Airport, which I've forgotten what its name was now. Leopold Sedar Senghor International Airport. It's an international airport serving Dakar, the capital of Senegal. The airport is situated near the town of Yoff, a northern suburb of Dakar. It was known as Dakar Yoff International Airport until 9th of October 1996, when it was renamed in honour of Leopold Sedar Senghor, the first president of Senegal. The airport can handle wide-body jets, including the Airbus A340-600 from South African Airways and the Boeing 777-200 from Air France. And in 2015, the airport served around 1.9 million passengers, almost on 2 million. So, interesting. You learn a little bit, people. You learn a little bit. So, Alazgar says can't do seawater with extra salt and liquid smoke. Do you know what though? I'm going to be honest with you, Alazgar. In moderation, they can be really good. You got to add water though. You have to add a little bit of water or a little bit of... I don't like to say ice. Pipette of water. A little bit of water. Some of them are really good. But you can't have more than one. It's just that I agree with you. The smoke flavour can just be too much for me. But there's a lot of others from the area. Just a lot of whiskies. In fact, I need to open my whiskey book tomorrow and slice off a few of the ones that I've that I've had, because I haven't opened my whiskey book in a while. But I think there's maybe 20 I can cross off my list now. So because we haven't been in touch with ATC, we had to change the barometer, but we didn't get instruction to, so can't do it because we're not on an IFR flight, so we're not going to get instruction to change it. So in reality, I don't know what the procedure would be for changing the barometer. I really don't, but there's a big difference there. 2992 and 3002 that we had. Catching wild haggis. I know. If you don't catch it, it doesn't taste as good. Oh, Brian, you spoilt it. You spoilt it, Brian. I actually like haggis. I genuinely do. A good one. Somebody brought me one from... I think somebody bought me one in Barcelona from the English store there, and it was the worst haggis I think I'd ever tasted. Ever tasted. But, we have something here in Spain called morcilla. You can make it with rice or you can make it with onions as the filler, but it's a blood sausage basically. But the one they do with onions is outstanding. I mean, outstanding. Let's find out past. Yeah. No, that's alright. Yeah, let's go. I mean, you Americans, you eat head cheese and stuff, don't you? So I'm a slight fan of head cheese. Don't eat it a lot, but I am a bit of a fan. Ah, no, listen to this. This is to do with the airport in Dakar. Construction of a replacement airport, Blaise Diagne International, 45 kilometers inland from Leopold, began in 2007. The Saudi Bin Laden group, that was Bin Laden's father, constructed the new airport, named after the first black African elected to the French Parliament in 1914. It was initially expected to take 30 months to build and was designed for initial capacity of 3 million passengers a year, almost double the 1.7 annual of the current airport. It was delayed several times and finally opened in December 7, 2017. As of March 2020, Singapore, which I'm guessing is this one, only serves charter flights and scheduled cargo flights, not regular passenger flights. We might have to change that destination, people. We are. GOBD. We're going to change destination, people. What's 45 kilometers? GOBD. So let's have a look. Flight plan. So this is the second time we've done this, isn't it? Destination. Select destination airport is GOBD. GOBD. And that will come up with that airport. Okay, good. Yeah. So, enter. I forgot. Okay, so you can see we're making a turn now as we line up with the new airport that we're going to be going to, because we want to go to places where we can pick people up and drop them off. So this will be inland, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. And my guess is it's not too different from Dakar. Yeah, so Dakar is out here on the tip, as you can see, with the big circle, and this one's just down. GOTH. It wasn't GOTH though, was it? No, GOBD. So it's this one over here, but I'm not seeing it as an airport. But then again, what's GOTH then? It can't be GOTH though. GOBD. GOTH airport. GOTH airport. No, 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 no. GOTH airport. Well, it's not Gothenburg. We're in fucking Africa. Sorry, pardon my French. I don't know why I suddenly started swearing there. It doesn't say what it is. Okay, well, we can hope. If not, we'll have to. We'll check on the radio when we get there. It did originally actually show this airport as, I think, as a triangle. So, but I'm sure there should be an airport there. And but at the moment it's not showing. But if there's an airport, we'll find it. Can't be GOTH though. GOTH. No, that looks like too small of an airport, that one. I'm sure we'll be fine. We'll find it when we get there, won't we? No, I'm going to this one because it's a better airport. That one looked like the pits. So, jeez, come on. This one's probably a bit nicer. Looks a bit nicer. Okay, so we're making another turn now to get online. Bit of creaking going on in the cabin, but I think that's because it's quite a high-speed maneuver. Normally, you don't make maneuvers at cruise altitude because it's generally just a constant slight turn. So making this type of turn at cruise altitude is probably not the best thing for the aircraft. Who knows? But I haven't had a look at the outside for a while, have we? So you can see we're deep in the desert now. Deep into the desert. Like I said, I think when we cross the oceans, it'll all be me sleeping and just streaming the flight, so you can all watch it if you want to join in and watch it for what would you call it? For ambient noise. You don't eat head cheese, huh? Yeah, I think Brian, sorry I missed that. It is. I think really good haggis is really, really nice, but everything's a bit like that. A lot of cured meat here where I live, and if you buy the cheap version, to be honest with you, if you'd never eaten it before, the cheap version would seem alright. But I should turn the light out for atmosphere, shouldn't I? I really should. Can this thing not just get on course without making this tip, having to tip from side to side all the time? It's not because of wind, is it? Oh, there is 22 knots. That's quite a lot for a high. It's a tailwind, but seem to constantly be tipping from one side to another. Maybe the plane's had a whiskey or something, so you never know. You never know. So I'll be streaming tomorrow as well, but I'll be doing a much longer stream tomorrow throughout the day. Then there'll be a break, and then I'll probably come back in the evening or something. But it depends how the day one goes. Do you remember last week? Did I stream from like 2 till 8 or something last week? It was some crazy ass length like that. But it's not a 24-hour stream, is it? Not a 24-hour stream.
Ineffectual number 907, contact Dakar Center on Albany 20.5.
Okay.
120.5, Ineffectual Gamer 907. Dakar Center, Ineffectual Gamer 907, flight level 310.
Ineffectual Gamer 907, Dakar Center, continue as planned.
Okay. Continuing as planned. Oh yeah, it was 22.25 before YouTube cut it. I would have made 24 hours if YouTube didn't cut it. That was my fault. I was being a silly Billy, but you know what you're gonna do. What are you gonna do? That was a sad one, that they cut it off. Those mother lovers. It's actually not. It wasn't ridiculously hard doing 24-hour stream. I actually found it more difficult because I think somebody had said if you're gonna do one, do it morning through morning, because that way, say you do it 8 until 8 a.m. If your usual time of sleeping is 2 o'clock in the morning, for example, or 12 or something, then you're only missing 6 hours, and then you go 6 hours over, so you're going to feel tired for 6 hours, or you might only actually feel tired for 4 of those 6 hours. But if you do it, let's say for example you start at 10 at night, then you're going to go through the whole night being tired because you're not sleeping, of course, and then you're going to go through the next night up until 10 o'clock, so you're going to be getting really tired as well. So I did do it in the correct way, but I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be honest and say that I was having visual abnormalities towards the end of that stream. I remember, like, I don't know, my vision was kind of like this. It was really weird. Really weird. It is GOBD I set in, wasn't it? GOBD? That is a D, isn't it? It's not Gorbo. I'm just gonna check. No, GOBD, and it is down as the actual arrival airport as well, so we can go to direct to. Can we activate or something? Maybe. Yeah. So it is an airport. It definitely is an airport. It knows it's an airport. So, and you know, I really like the fact that you can set stuff in the FMD. You can set. You can go into the. So let's have a look. Oh, what was it? GOBD. GOBD. Yeah. Okay. Enter. Okay. So it gives you info about it. Gives you frequencies, and it gives you the runways. So it's got one runway, 1 and 19, and I'm guessing where it says unknown, it doesn't know which one is the takeoff and landing airport, runway. Sorry, and it gives you waypoint options. Okay, but I mean, all of this, it's not really stuff that I need to get into at the moment, because I'll mess everything up. But I do like that you can set stuff. It's really interesting, because I didn't know essentially I didn't know you could kind of just change it halfway through the flight like that, or I didn't know you could do it so easily. No, I only had a drink at the end, Alesgar, if you remember. I had a whiskey towards the end. I didn't, I took that into consideration very early on. That drinking probably wasn't the best option, but... No, my mistake was I started at 10 AM in the morning. And I should have started earlier. Because if I'd have started earlier, it would have been much easier. Yeah. Yeah, I just have to knock out all the crappy suns. Did you see the new app that Down to Earth was showing off the other day? You still have to do all the scanning and stuff, but it tells you its exact worth. I don't know how they've got that information. So it doesn't even give you a roundabout value, it tells you the exact worth. So once you scan the planet, it'll say if you map this planet you will get X amount of money. And I actually think that app is really good for Elite, because some high metal content worlds are worth a fortune, but you don't always know. And I only know that because I remember one time I'd only had a couple of Earth likes, and I was selling some pages, and I was like, hang on, that system didn't have any water worlds in it, but I was still getting a ton of money from it. Oh, it looks like we're approaching a big lake here. We will soon be passing into Senegal, by the way. We're not far off at all. This river is the actual border of Senegal, so we really aren't too far. So I think in a moment we'll go in the... Oh, you can actually see the river here. Okay, so this river here, see it kind of snaking around? This is the border with Senegal. So once we pass that river, we are officially in Senegal. And this river goes all the way along here, and it is the border basically. And we can see the sea again now because we're a bit close to the sea again. Oh shite! I didn't put the landing lights on. Ah, but we're at cruise speed, so we shouldn't have those on. Technically, we shouldn't have those on. So yeah, well, you can see we're approaching the river now. So cool. And then after the river, we're going to have some type of big lake off to the right. Huge lake, actually. Not a small lake by any means. And then I think once we pass this lake, it's going to be time to start the approach, because we've travelled a lot. We've travelled a fair bit here. I think the Eye of Africa's here. You can actually see it on the map. You see it there? So we've travelled from the Eye of Africa, and we are all the way down here. So we really haven't got that far to go now until we get there. So going at cruise altitude at certain points is really important, I think. Really, really important. It gets us there faster, I think. Let's also... I put my roomie onto that TV show you know earlier, Oscar, so roomie's watching that now. I don't understand why one of my restream chats is showing recent stuff, and on the other thing it's showing nothing, or showing much earlier stuff. Don't know what that's all about. I don't know how to do it on this one. Ah, there we go. Senegal. Okay, that's better. And then I can just zoom in here. Okay. I just need a visual map so I can kind of keep my bearings as to where I am. So I like to have a visual map open as well. Okay, so we can see the lake here. Yep, huge, and loads of farming land around it. Look, see all of this farmland. Trying to spot the airport on this on Google Maps, but I can't quite spot it. Let's just look on the map again. Ah, so it's really close by the looks of it. GeoBD, so it's kind of there to the south slightly. Ah, okay, I've got it, I think. Is it on the coast itself? Oh no. No, I haven't got it. You haven't got it, have you? Full of shite. Just check again. It's gonna be somewhere around here. But can't for the life of me see the airport. Something there, but it's a racing circuit actually. Right, okay, hang on 1 second. I have an idea. I said it in a little bit in Catalan there. Okay, so there's a little river inlet. Okay, and then it's just off that. So let's go up and find that river inlet. That must be it. Okay. Yeah, that's the river inlet. Yep, still can't see it. GeoBD. So I'm going to put GeoBD. There we go. Okay, so that was actually closer than it looks on this map to Dakar. So, and it does look a nicer airport actually. Can't see the water inlet. But this actually might not be the airport itself. This might be the last one that... Well, that's if the game has the airport actually. No. I was considering maybe doing a Cessna citation. The problem is, Jess, is these legs of the journey are going to be a bit slow because I'm covering a huge part of Africa, but then we're going to get to certain points where this aeroplane will be much better because you can fly around you can fly it like a low-level airplane, then you can fly it like a high-altitude airplane. So I get what you're saying, but wait, I've just changed the barometric pressure by accident. I did that before the other day. Hopefully we won't get that warning. Where is it? Yeah, no, I don't know. Okay. I'm hoping that's gonna be fine, and I didn't mess it up too much. So yeah, so when I there's a part of me, you know what I'm like, I'm a bit of a purist in some ways, and there's a part of me that was saying, you know what, when I fly over the ocean I should take the Cessna Citation and pretend to have my airplane shipped. But you know what, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to do that. It really doesn't. So I don't think I'm going to be doing it. When I get to the Americas, to the North America, I'm not afraid of jets. I can fly a jet easy. Don't know about landing one. No, I think I could land one happily now. I'm actually going to play around with the Citation at some point, because I'd like to use that in the secondary series. So I'm going to have 2 series of Microsoft Flight Simulators running. First one is going to be this one, so the around the world thing. However long that bloody takes, years probably. And then I'm going to actually have one where it's like going from airports to airports, doing passenger flights and stuff. So, but I'm kind of waiting for. I'm going to start by making my own stories to it, but I think I'm really waiting for kind of that first passenger add-on that's going to come out, because I think if they do something like Passenger X or FS Passengers for this, then I would buy it in a heartbeat. I'd buy them both in a heartbeat. There's one FS Navigator, which they have a version for this, but the guy who runs it is a bit of a douche. So when he first ran FS Navigator, it was fantastic. You bought it, you paid 20 quid for it, you had it, and it worked, and it did the job. And then somewhere along the line, I think it was when FSX came out, he changed it, and he changed it to something called FS Tramp. Why he changed it to FS Tramp, I'll never know. He must have thought it was funny or whatever. But anyway, that was fine. He put the price up, I think, for FS Tramp, so I was like, not too happy, but it was worth buying. But then he's done a version which supports Microsoft Flight Simulator X, and you basically have to rent it. So it's a subscription-based app, and I'm just like, you know what, it's not worth it. It was good, FS Navigator, it really was. I think it went on real-world Citizen SARs, which were updated as far as I can remember. And it could, in theory, do what the co-pilot does in this. It would fly you point to point, land you and everything. I don't know if it would taxi you, but it would do everything. But if you wanted that, I got mad skills on. Shut up. So yeah, but this guy's put it in now, and as much, because if you could have that running on the stream, it would show you similar like this does with the map in the corner, but it would have all the SIDS and SARs, the restricted airspace and everything. It was a fantastic fantastic add-on. But I'm not renting something, and I'm not paying subscription, because it's not fucking Netflix, you know. I'm not paying 10 quid a month subscription for something. You sell me it for 30 quid, I'll probably buy it, but I'm not paying 10 quid a month. It's not happening. Which reminds me, Sony robbed me of 10 quid the other day as well. The robbing bastards. You know what they do on the PlayStation? They do this thing where if you turn off automatic payments, but then you purchase something, it'll automatically turn on the automatic payments again. Give over, Brian. So, I don't know why I try to entertain you people. You just entertain yourselves in the chat, taking the piss. It's a good job I'm not touchy, you bastards. Right, okay, so let's start our descent now. Oh, I've accumulated 50 hours of flight, people. I know you lot don't give a shit, but it's a lot for me. So we are going to decrease. Oh, we're going to go vertical speed. We're going to decrease. Oh, I don't know what that is because I've got it set too high. Okay, 1,800. That's all right. We're going to set this for. We'll go for 10,000 feet at first in the first step. It's too busy talking, and we're a little bit further than I wanted to be. So I'll set it for 10 and then I'm going to check everything else because I can pretty much see our airport ahead of us. I'm actually not even going to set it for 10, I'm going to go for 5. And I'm actually going to push us down at harder vertical speed, but I want to see what the nose is at. So the nose can go down more. We can set the nose to a good 5 degrees, huh? I think. So if that's 2,800. Okay. So we're going to set the nose down, but we're going to pull that torque back a little bit. Don't want to be making speed. Don't necessarily want to be losing speed either, but we probably should be losing speed, a little bit of speed at this rate. So I'm going to torque it back just slightly. We're going to have a look and see if we can actually find the nearest airport. Can't see it on here yet, which isn't good. Oh, I've got some weather to the south by the looks of it. To the far south, so interesting. Can't really see it here very well. There's a mountain over there. So I'm going to pull the engine back a little bit. Just want to lose a little bit of speed here. Because we're quite close to the coast. And I don't think we're that far off our destination airport now. We can adjust speeds and everything as we go, so that'll be fine. Oh, I'll get lost. Okay, so we're descending pretty fast. I'm actually going to raise the nose slightly. Let's have a look. I want it on that 5 degree mark, more or less. Not too different. This is my plane, and I'll land it how I want to. So we are. What's the name? Blaise Diagne. Yeah, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct at all. Probably bastardizing it, but never mind. So, cancel the nearest airport list. No. Still haven't got it on the list yet, which is a bit strange. Should have it on the list. Sometimes it doesn't actually show up until you're a fair way out. Until, sorry, you're quite close. So, oh, I need to go into map options for that one. Map. I like that it shows the weather. I think that's pretty cool. It's not bad at all. My guess is the airport's somewhere, and this is purely a guess, somewhere over here or somewhere over here. But you never know with me. We'll find it. I'm confident of finding its big ass airport. I don't even have a clue what some of these are. Alright. Sod the lot. Right, okay, so there's an airport there, or a windmill there, one or the other. I think it's a windmill actually. As we pass 17,000, so I think we might actually be able to increase the vertical speed, maybe take it down to about 1.3 now, because I don't think we're that close to be sitting at 5,000 too quick, so we'll bring it down a little bit more. I mean, the airport is essentially directly ahead of us, wherever the hell it is. There is an airport here, but I can't imagine that's it. But it could be. But that definitely is an airport there, because you can see the runways. And it's dead ahead of me, so I'm guessing it is. You know, what? Dead ahead of me or not? Yeah, it's dead ahead of me. I do believe that will be the airport. But what approach we're going to get is my biggest question. There we go, we've got it. So we're going to get called
Tower
in.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 is 54 miles northeast with Alpha to land.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 Tower. Enter left downwind runway 1. Altimeter 29.9 1 wind tree 28 at 14.
Fly left traffic runway 1 Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Okay, so you can see our entrance pattern here. So we're going to enter in from over here. But that's a long way off. So that was the airport. Oh no, I don't think it is actually. I think the airport's over there. But it looks like we're gonna have a pretty decent entry here, which is good. So what I might do here is actually try to control everything's myself. Huh. So let's switch it from nav to heading. And let's change our heading to 234, I think. Ah, don't do this to me. 234 or 240. Let's try 240. Okay. So that's heading, okay. Because we want to line up with this, we don't want to line up with the airport as such, because then I'm going to have to make this massive fly out. So the idea is to try and line up with the entrance pattern. So we'll try a little bit. Once it flattens out, we'll shift her a little bit to the... So we'll try 237. I probably can get a decent... Yeah, because this is... No, I know what we got to do. We got to go do this. So let me just get this right, because this is going to be heading... We tried 236. Okay. Or 232, sorry. First time I've actually done this myself. This is, see, getting ballsy, you see. I'll get lost a lot here. I'm not even paying attention half of you. Right, okay, so we are passing 12,000. And that looks about right. Maybe a couple of clicks to the left. So, and I've had a few as well, so get lost. I'll get this thing down. So we're at 167. We can actually whack the torque up a bit now because we know where our pattern entry is. So let's get this plane flying now. 1, 2. A little bit more. Okay. Passing 11,000 feet. Picking up a bit of speed now, but that's fine because we know where our pattern entry is, so that's fine. I should have actually whacked the speed up a little bit earlier, but what are you gonna do? So we can see the odd village around here. Or football, I'm guessing that's a football field. Lots of football fields. But I don't know what the hell that is. Must be a village. Maybe they have like somewhere where they... I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna change the heading again, just slightly. Couple of clicks. Now I don't know what altitude our pattern entry was, but I'm supposing around 5,000, but we're passing 10 now. So we're passing 10, so it is landing lights on. I remembered today. Landing lights on, passing 10,000 feet. So let's have a look at us as we're coming into land. Landing lights are on, boys and girls, although you can't see them. I'm quite pleased with this, you know. We've, I say we've, you lot have done nothing. I'm only kidding. Moral support, wishing me dead. So there's Senegal, of course there's Senegal, it's right in front of us. Here's Dakar, off to the right here. And now we're starting to see more lights, road, we can see a motorway over here, and we can actually see the airport. I'll lift it up a little bit. We can see the airport runway here. So, yeah, as we're getting down, we're seeing more and more villages. Like, as we're getting closer in. So, and we've got a few clouds, a few scattered clouds around. See some right in front of us here, so they might cause a little bit of buffeting. So as we enter the approach, we'll go through the landing process. We are a little bit off the GPS line now, of course, because I'm controlling everything. I'm controlling the heading. Just going to decrease the vertical speed. I was going to say virtual again, because we're getting pretty close to the entry. Once we get into the entry, it'll be autopilot off and I'll control everything. But I just don't think we're at 5,000 fast enough here. And in fact, I'm not sure if that starts at 2,000. So I'm going to knock it down to around 3.5 just to be sure. We'll get a rough idea of what it is when we get down there. We're definitely above it at the moment. You can see when you line up the airplane wing there, that not there, that would just slightly above it. And we are shifting, so I'm going to bring us down a lot so we can max where we want to be on the entry. And it's just good to procedure to come in a little bit slower. Well, it's not good, but to come in at a decent speed, it's okay. Right, okay, so I'm going to turn the head in a little bit more. And this is the only thing about approaches and stuff that I might not necessarily understand, but I will try to get to understand it a little bit more as I play the game more and more. But just trying to get a little bit of a touch of... I want to enter in, not exactly there, but we can adjust. It's a good point to enter. But I think coming in we want to be... we probably want to be around under 220 as we enter this. So we're at 223, so we should be good. Ah, people have already used that Ellis car. Okay, we're leveling off at 3.5, but I am now going to come down a little bit more. Just click that. Oh, crappy now. That vertical speed only ever seems to want to do its job when... only seems to want to do its job when you're... when you don't need it to. So I'm just going to make another slight heading change back. Because I feel like we're... not coming in head on as I wanted to, but this approach I'm feeling good already, and hopefully we'll get this thing down. Right, okay, here we go. Coming in on entry now. I really don't like the look of this pattern entry. Oh no, I know what it's doing, okay. I didn't like it a moment ago, now I feel much more comfortable with it. Because I saw the distance to the airport, I was like, Christ, it's bringing us as in an angle, but it's not, it's just the way it looks. Sometimes. So, we have landing gear going down. Just going to whack the speed up slightly. So as I said, we want to get rid of some of this speed here. Should be able to see the airport pretty much off to our left now, but as we're entering, I don't want to... Can you see it there? I did that pretty fast because I don't want to mess this up, I really don't, so... So here we go, first flaps, just we go into the entry. Okay, and then we're gonna let it bleed off the speed using the flaps. Get lost a lot here. That's really mean, some of those. I'm going to be honest with you. Jess actually isn't mean, it's just Brian and Elisgar are too mean. Okay, so autopilot's off. Still a bit too fast, but we're aiming to get down to 100. So that's why I'm keeping the nose slightly up. We'll get to 100 though. Gonna use kind of the nose to bleed off a little bit. Okay, I've got my viewpoint down really low there. That was affecting my judgment. Okay, so we need to get it down to about 100 would be the best. But then we don't want it to drop too much afterwards, so it'll go blue. I can't even read the chat now, guys. Too busy. Okay, so there you go. There it goes blue. So when it goes blue like that, you just add a little bit of engine, just so you're not.
Ineffectual gamer Niner 7 cleared to land runway 1. Wind 288 at 8.
Cleared to land runway 1 Ineffectual gamer Niner 7.
Coming in a bit low, so I'm going to try and add a bit of engine, just not to lose too much speed. Try and make this turn. So you'll always hear the engines kicking at this point, and that's because putting down the second flaps, you lose a lot of airspeed quickly, so you've got to kind of try and save it, get it back to 100, as you can see at the moment. 102, so I can just whack it down just slightly. And this is the part that I'm getting a bit better at reading now. So as we make this turn, I'm looking to bleed off another 10. Okay, and this is the part I haven't really got used to yet, because I'm not really good at it, and it's really hard to look at the controls, bleed the speed, but we'll be okay, I'm sure. Yeah, see, I'm not bleeding the speed. Okay, slightly to the right, so we'll have to correct that. Too close to minimum, so I'm gonna sorry, too close to stall speed there, so I need to get that sorted. Okay, and okay, we're on final approach now, so we're on final, and that's fine. Pappy lights, I'm a bit low, but it's not the end of the world. Down, get that stall speed. Okay, good touchdown. That was good. Engage the reverse thrusters.
Ineffectual gamer Niner 7 turn next taxiway.
Okay. Cool. That was good. It was a bit iffy. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't happy with it. I should be getting much better than that by now, but there's a couple of extra steps now that I've never done before that I was trying to introduce, so it becomes habit. And a couple of things I'd been reading about, so it was good for a first attempt. I got down and didn't crash, and I'm sure now I can start really mopping it up and having it become
Gamer Niner 7 turn next taxiway.
yeah, I know. Trying to, mate. Why do they hassle me like that? I actually get off the runway much faster than most bloody planes do. Well, not faster than not faster than a Ryanair flight, but now my supposing is this airport isn't the best looking airport, but the thing is, pack of dickheads. The thing is that I forgot what I was gonna say now. get lost. Right, let's go. Ground and request taxi to park.
Ground Ineffectual Gamer Niner 7 taxi to parking.
We got a heavy here.
Ineffectual Aldemer 907 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Charlie 4 Charlie Alpha 4.
I've landed now.
Taxiing to general
Less
aviation
emojis.
parking using taxiway Charlie 4 Charlie Alpha 4 Ineffectual Gamer Niner 7.
But the thing about this version of Flight Simulator and the previous versions of it is that this version, with all these little additions, has made me much more confident with every flight, with everything that you're doing. And because there's still some safety nets, you're able to gradually add more complexity to what you're doing, to the point where hopefully you'll need all the nav charts and stuff, though. You'll be able to turn off the approach completely. Now, if I was doing an ILS landing, you really don't need those approach things anyway, because your FMC is going to take you in, pretty much line you up with the runway, and then you just have to do the final part. So, you know, 0.19. But the approach steps there and everything just felt really, really good. It was just that final bit, I was kind of lined up slightly too late, and then, no, slightly to the right. Then I had to make adjustments, and I over-adjusted. I could see it, but I knew I'd make the runway, so I was like, oh, sod it, I'll just put it down. But the touchdown was great. The touchdown was good, and I guess I'm happy about that. So ramp 42. We're landing it. Jess, if you want, I'll load in, once I finish this flight, just to finish off the night, I'll load in LA if you want. We can have a... Does everybody want to go see Jess's house? No, but I'll load in LA. Did you say you live in Ventura, Jess? I can't remember. No, I thought you might live in Ventura. 'Cause Jesse Ventura. But no, I don't think you do live in Ventura. Van Ives or something. I have no idea. I don't know if there is actually a guy. Yeah, he is. There's a guy here bringing me in. I'm getting really good at that. See how fast I got that done? That is crazy fast. Okay, peeps, we're down. So we'll go off. That should be off. I think it is actually already off. Fuel selector off. Autopilot off. Nav strobe pull should be off. I didn't take off my landing lights for the taxi lights though, which was silly of me. Bleed off. Pitot heat lights off. And I think that's everything. I think. Okay, there we go. Flight over. Let's have a look. Okay. Right, so that was 2 hours 54 flight time. It's not too bad. Not too bad. And I enjoyed that. Let's go back to the main menu. Okay, so let's have a look at Burbank Airport. I think we'll take off from Burbank and then we'll fly over the Hollywood sign and down into LAX, I suppose. Let's see. Can't remember what Burbank Airport was. Bob Hope, that's it. So let's go. Well, we'll go from parking 9, I think, and we shall go. Yeah, Los Angeles, I think. Oops. Go KLAX. Okay, so we'll go KLAX. Set as arrival. Okay, 25 right runway. Okay, and let's see if there is actually things around here. So we've got Hollywood sign. So we are going to add that. We're going to add Glendale. We're going to add Los Angeles itself. Downey? I don't know what Downey is. La Habra? Inglewood? Should we add Inglewood? Inglewood. And then this will be interesting because we're going to do this as the is there anywhere else we can add in? Don't know Downey. I don't know what Downey's supposed to be. La Habra, San Gabriel. I don't know these places. Long Beach. There's Long Beach. We could add Long Beach in. We're already doing a bit of a zigzag. Why is it doing that? Let's just try remove Glendale a second. So remove Inglewood. Shouldn't it do this like on a remove that one? So remove. Right, so if we were to I know why. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so we delete that as the arrival. We have to do that. Okay. So we'll go Bob Hope and then we'll go Hollywood. Oh shit, it won't allow it. Okay, so it's KLAX. This is bullshit. Okay, let's have a look. KLAX arrival. Okay. Right. Okay, so we're going to go. What's that place up there then? Palmdale. Okay. Santa Clarita. So we'll go Hollywood. Add. Okay. Or should we actually no? We'll add Glendale. I think this is why it may be messed up before. Glendale, then Hollywood. Yeah. And I should have maybe done Los Angeles before Glendale. Yeah. Jesus, this is a funny on. Right, okay. But I know why it does it like that, remove. So, well, you do it kind of in reverse. Inglewood. Los Angeles. There you go. Glendale. And then Hollywood. Yeah. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay. Right, what do you want to take? What should we take? Pop-up app. It doesn't, you know. It looks cool. It looks alright. Should we just take the TBM? Because it's easier to get off the ground and stuff. I know what I'm doing with it. Probably better, no? I'd take the Citation, but it'll do it too fast. I mean, this'll do it fast, but that'll do it too fast. Okay, and we're gonna do this daytime, no? Because we need to see some stuff. Okay, so we'll do it daytime, 9:54 AM. Okay, and we'll take the clear skies for this one because we want to see what we're looking at. Okay, so world map. Yep, we'll fly it. Cool. whiskey's run out. Do I deserve a second one? No, no, you know what? So I'm going to watch a little bit of The Sopranos before I go to bed, so I might have a whiskey while I'm watching. A gagagamuk! I love The Sopranos, it's funny as hell. Sometimes. I knew he was going to say take a jet. I'm not taking a jet at 2,000 feet over LA. It'll be at stall speed all the way. It doesn't work like Elite. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jess. Bob Hope Airport will be in the San Fernando Valley. Is that right? Burbank. I think Burbank's in the San Fernando Valley. 15 we don't have one. There isn't one in game, unfortunately. I can't wait till I edit. It'll be fun. Definitely flying. Now try landing one of those babies, because some of them have one hell of a landing speed. Some of them have a really ridiculous landing speed. I was thinking doing the Area 51 running a Janet flight actually for one of my passenger. It is? Okay, cool. Don't ask me why I have good geography of America, because I still don't know. Hope's in the valley. I can't wait to go to Utah Zion National Park as well, but whether the game's been able to map that stuff in, I really don't know. One of the reasons why I wanted America to be the last part of my trip, and I'm still umming and ahhing, is, listen, this trip it could take a year, right? It could take 2 years. I really don't know how long it's going to take. That's why I wanted a second series to run alongside it, so that I can have a bit of a break from it every now and again, because things like flying over the sea, it's going to get pretty boring at times. But I'm still toying with the idea of maybe I rent planes and it isn't mine, so I can go somewhere else on a jet and whatnot. But I don't know yet. I'll have to think about it all. So that's why I want the second series of doing like passenger flights and stuff, because I think it'll be fun. Now, we are going to fly over LA, so I'm going to be honest with you, the frame rates are normally okay for me. I don't know why, because I have a potato PC, but it normally, touch wood, runs FS Flight Simulator, normally runs Flight Simulator pretty well, and not with a huge loss of frame rate. But this is LA. It's LA. I don't know what to tell you. So we'll see how it goes. But you know, one of the great things is, for example, you can get no, it's not. It's from. I genuinely take interest in things, Jess. So like, well, to be honest with you, a lot of films get my interest in an area, and then I'll sit on Google and look at certain things, or I'll look at what's known about a place, like what's it most famous for. So yeah, I think the films probably kick it off at the beginning, but I have a genuine interest in various places that I've visited and stuff. So I know it's LA, Brian. It's huge, so it has to load in a ton of information. So it does take a few minutes, but yeah. So this is actually breaking the protocol of the stream, but it is what it is. Right, so you can still see it's loading in LA here. So that's why the load takes so long, and I've got some shitty frame rates. But this screen always gives you crappy frame rates. Always. So this is the San Fernando Valley here. I'm just going to put ready to fly. I don't know why we're ready at runway, but you know what? That suits me for this part of the stream. So we're going to go outside. I can already feel the frame rate difference. I really can. Like, you can see it here, it's just stuttering like hell. But this is what LA does. The higher you get, the less it stutters. But there's a Southwest flight. I don't know if it's Southwest flight or Burbank, but I noticed that flight was there before. So this is actually an add-on for the game. So this is a created version of the airport, so it's handcrafted. So they've done a pretty good job of this. But so let's have a look. So I want to show you, like, when Jess says it's a crappy airport, it is a bit of a crappy airport. But I'm supposing it's how some people, like, it's probably how the porn actors get to their destination, isn't it? In the San Fernando Valley, or maybe even some TV producers. I think work out of the San Fernando Valley, don't they? I think Conan O'Brien works out of Burbank Studios. So, so you can go and see all these people dotted around, and I'm guessing this is local. And they've put a ton of like real signs and stuff. It's crazy. Some FedEx van, FedEx Express. So it is cool like that. You can see an Alaska Airways flight here. Yep, it's Alaska. Wow, my knowledge of and a Delta behind it by the looks of it. Whey! I know my stuff. So